Hey, good morning. Here's Frankie. Hi, Frankie. Frankie. Yeah, we've been outside running, and I am sitting out here in my little stoop, my front door stoop, having some coffee. I know, I've cut back, I promise. I hope y'all had a good Easter. You know, you don't have to be deeply religious to enjoy Easter. You don't have to be deeply Christian. You can be a questioner and still enjoy Easter. Participate in the city egg hunts and the events, and sometimes there's parades. You know, I love it when I see people who have been hardened, especially people new in recovery, where they have a problem accepting God or a higher power at all, and they're just get their toes wet. And I'm so happy when that happens. There's just, just to get a curiosity is fine. People make a big deal out of, once you hear the word of God, you're supposed to go ahead and fall in love and be baptized the same day or within, as soon as a preacher can do it. Well, some of us humans don't work that way. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, as the big book says. So if you're one of those people who just gets your toes in there, or if you're a Christian who sometimes gets discouraged, or whatever religion you are, whatever higher power you're in love with, it's important to know that humans get discouraged. It's part of being human. It's true. So, with that said, just keep coming back. You get discouraged, but you don't quit, right? That's all there is to it. Just like with sobriety. If it's hard to stay sober or clean, or off the gambling or porn or whatever, just keep trying. Because each time you try, your neural pathways start saying, oh, hey, I feel good about that. And it'll want to do that more. But it takes self-discipline as well. You have to be willing to be in emotional pain to cut through the crap that makes you want to use and makes you want to go against your own moral standards. Okay, enough preaching. Happy Easter on that. Okay, so I'm going to show you my little yard. Okay, here is my little stoop that I drink coffee in the morning. And here's the front of my house. See that? I'll back up so you see it. I'll show you my plan. I have Frankie on a leash because he can't not chase other dogs and scare people. Okay, so here's my house. I'm planted monkey. Let me see if you can see this. Monkey grass. So someday this will be thick and plush. Both trees here, thick and plush. That's the plan. Okay, so here's the driveway. I want to show you some of the things I have going on here. This has been the big experiment. Some of the plants I've done, like I just had a beautiful little tree here. It went up to here and it died. I don't know why. And was doing great. I have some blueberries over here, or blackberries, I'm sorry. That's blackberries. A little bit different kind. So some of this stuff doesn't grow very well. I've been working on this for years. And I like ground cover. Look at this little guy. I threw some real healthy dirt on here yesterday. It's supposed to be enriching for 9 months. So when something works, I just plant more of it, or I take feeders off and put piles of dirt on there because it's on clay. I'm not going to work hard on it like I used to. I used to till it up, mix good dirt, and plant another plant. Or maybe make the holes deeper or more shallow. But now I'm just taking feeders off of things that work and putting a mound of dirt and putting the plant on top. Isn't that funny? And I like my little bird waterers. This plant does really good, so I just keep spreading it out a little bit. These are all little feeders off of things. See, I just keep taking things that do well. This really got hit hard on the winter, but it is gorgeous when it's done. This is a plant that is ground covered that a neighbor gave to me. It doesn't look very good right now. Oopsie. But these are all feeders. And some of these irises and lilies, I think, and that prairie grass. Some of these things, including the hostas, have been here for years, and they just don't do that great in this dirt or something. But I fertilize it. I put Miracle-Gro on it, and I keep mixing dirt. But I don't know. I'm happy with it for now. It's the happiest I've been with it for a long time, and I'll tell you why. I thought maybe this dirt was haunted. I know that sounds weird, but there are people who seem to be able to grow things well. And I had a tree, believe it or not. I don't know if you can see my great big trees in my yard. See that tree? And then there's another great big tree, and then I have one up there. So back in the day, I planted a garden right where the gentle breeze of the farm would blow I didn't know this, but the walnut tree has a mist. You know how we breathe and we have a mist that comes out? Well, walnut trees or plants do that. They let out oxygen, and oh, there's my little sitting area, and it would express this chemical that was killing my garden. So I'm thinking this tree is doing that as well. Look at all the pollen in the air. My big trees, I think, are shedding. I got a couple of ferns put in. It's been so windy though, it's making them look like they have a bad haircut. And I'm gonna put some plants in here eventually. Yeah. So that's what I got. I'll show you what I did with I'm gonna show you this. Watch this. This is so crazy. See this? This is just another rock that comes out of nowhere. These rocks come out of nowhere. They just keep popping up in my yard. And like there was a rock here, and I dug it up. See that hole? They're all over the yard. But these rocks keep surfacing. So either the walnut trees and these are not walnut trees. These are pencil oaks. So I could actually probably look that up if they put off some kind of chemical. But the monkey grass under them is doing okay. But also the clay dirt that I have pushes out any mulch that I have, any fresh dirt that I mix in it. It just pushes it out. Matter of fact, it pushes out plants. You can see where it actually pushes out the plant. I have replanted plants before. Over here where the monkey grass and the hostas are under the windows, I'll show you what it does. I put some fresh dirt around it because I'm tired of doing it. Once it takes, it'll be fine. But the dirt along the house actually has pushed these up out of the ground. And see this? It pushes them up out of the ground. Clay, it's clay dirt. It's weird. I know, hard to believe. I wouldn't have believed it either. So either the ground is so much clay in this particular vein. It's hard to grow grass. A lot of the neighbors' grass looks like this, unless they spend a lot of time and money on it. But just like shaving, it comes right back to this condition if it's not constantly cared for. So anyway, I'm going to show you the rock because this has come from my yard over the years. So I decided to use it for decoration on my, isn't that pretty? Yeah. And then I put a pile over here as well. I just thought it was so clever of me. See? And then I have a real pretty flowery bush that comes up there. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, I wanted to show you this is my hobby. So I'm always doing something out here. I just love it. The great experiment. I know it always looks worse before it looks better. And I'll probably put out some more. I'll keep putting out some more dirt. I still have some of that fancy dirt left. And I got these in pots too. I had to repot these. They were root bound. And so I got them some good dirt. I have these I decided to bring out because it's kind of shady over here. So I just put these babies down there just for fun. I know. Totally unnecessary, but I have such a small home. I got tired of just knick-knacky stuff. So I finally took all my plants out and whew, I'm getting hot. It's humid out here, it really is. Hear all those birds? I used to feed the birds all the time. If you go back to my first videos, you can see where I'm always feeding the birds. I love feeding the birds. However, this dog, wherever he is, over, hey, don't dig, Frankie. No dig. Come here and see mama. He's not listening. It's not that important. But he chases down and kills whatever he can. That's his joy. Nobody's perfect, I guess. Except Hudson. Hudson, my grandpa, that golden doodle, that dog's perfect. When the two dogs that are always in this house pass away someday from old age, we're getting a golden doodle. That's it. Spending the money, doing it. All my dogs have been from the Humane Society. I was gifted an expensive thoroughbred dog when I was a teenager, but from a boyfriend. But it was stolen a week later. I think the boyfriend stole it back. Gave it to his other girlfriend. Gosh, what a messed up life I've had sometimes. But also very blessed. I feel very blessed today. Because even though I don't feed the birds anymore, they still come up to take little bird baths in all these little bowls. See all the little bowls I have around? I can see them from the window. When Frankie and I are in the house, I look out this window right here. And I can see what's going on in the yard. This street used to be so busy with walkers. It's just the best street. It's not hot, but it's humid. But Frankie has, people just don't walk by like they did because they don't want to be scared like that. And they don't want to have to hold back their dog. And they don't want to be afraid that I can't handle Frankie's behavior. And he has gotten away from me a couple times when I, falsely trusted him to behave because he had behaved for a while and then off he'd go again. And he has such a long leash. So he'll run and he'll be in the air before he gets stopped. Yes, I'm rolling my eyes. It's just horrifying for everybody involved. So I have noticed I haven't asked anybody, but it's pretty easy math. I don't walk down streets where I am, like there's a street down here that I try it every once in a great while, but they used to have these dogs that would just bark for 2 blocks. They would see you or smell you a block away and start barking, and then they'd continue barking for at least a block on the other. And if you walk as slow as I do, it's just irritating. It's not a peaceful walk. And then there's a couple blocks over, because I go on different routes. So I retry them once in a while, see what's going on. And sometimes people move, and they did. They had like anywhere between 5 and 10 dogs. I think they were like a little animal shelter, little private owned one. And oh my God, it was a mess. I'm glad they moved. I hope they got a better place that's more conducive. Okay, so I had a client say something so beautiful. And it's beautiful because, you know, as we grow and mature, especially in sobriety or through trauma, the other side of trauma, at some point there's an intersection between, in my opinion, today, where addicts and people recovering from trauma cross over, they intersect. And that's because many people go from trauma to addiction because they're self-medicating, and then life is traumatic and they don't know what to do with it. Without that big wad of cotton, their drug of choice, life is just so raw and infuriating. And replacement addictions are like whack-a-mole. And people who are recovering from just straight abuse, trauma, abandonment, they don't know how to handle life without the things that they will do to hide from their emotions. You know, whether it was picking arguments, or shutting down, or overworking or underworking, or living on the street, challenging themselves to constantly start over. It's just this life chaotic. And if it's not outwardly chaotic, it's inwardly chaotic. So there's a place where when a client will tell me, or someone who's in recovery in AA will say something like this, life is so busy and fundamentally good and interesting and challenging, I don't know how I ever had time for that old behavior. Where did I have time to drink? Even just pouring the drinks. How did I have time to live this life and do that at the same time? Because a lot of people are what in the Alcoholics Anonymous book and people in AA talk about high bottom drunks. You know, people come in at different stages. And there are a lot of us, like I was a lot of people said overachiever, which I didn't relate to because I had such low self-esteem. So when you really get clean and you think, how did I have time to pick fights? Excuse me. How did I have time to go down to the bar? How did I have time to go to the liquor store and pick out booze and set up my bar? How did I have time to fill in the blank? Visit with all those people who supplied me with I gotta watch my dog. Bicyclers going by. You did good, Frankie. You did good. Oh, they didn't have a dog. Maybe that's, that's where I built up false hope for him. He stopped running after just people going down the street. So I don't know. Maybe there's hope for him. But anyway, that's what I'm grateful for today at Easter, is being reminded. I love working in the business I'm in because it reminds me of how grateful I am. It's easy to forget how grateful we are if we're not working with others, either volunteer or, lucky me, I make money at it. I love watching people grow. Thank God for God, right? Anyway, yes, life can be hard. So what? It can also be beautiful. Well, that neighbor's mowing, and that means there's about 3 other people who are going to start mowing. Men are like that. That's true. We have a lot of very mature people, emotionally or literally. And these men will not be undone. They'll be mowing all over the place. So you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to putz with laundry today, because I've got all my yard work done that I'm going to do until I get a few more plants and decide which. I don't think I have any more plants I can steal off of to start filling in some of my blank spots, unless I take some of that purple one. But that can wait for another day. Look at this. This looks so beautiful this morning, yesterday and this morning, even when I put that old dirt on there. And then Frankie came over and rolled, not just laid down, but rolled. You know what? This doesn't look so great, but I can tell you this. It looks beautiful to me, because each one of these little plants were either this size from blood, sweat, and tears, or they were finally just from surrendering and saying, you know what? I'm not planting any more of that because it didn't work. I'm just going to keep planting stuff that does work. And I quit spending, oh my God, I can't tell you how much money I've spent on this yard. I'm going to say, in my part, my decisions, I bet I have spent $8,000 to $10,000. Yeah, ripped it out because it just wasn't working and tried over again over the course of 5 years. I had landscapers actually come in for a little over 6, and that was one of the biggest mistakes. That was $6,000, man. But I thought from their sketches and their sales pitch, and because I liked them for several reasons, but didn't work. I think that prairie grass is the only thing, and these 2 round bushes, I think those are the only 2 things left from anything they did in the back or front yard, because all the trees they planted died and had to be replaced. Yeah. Oh my God. It took me a while to work on my resentments on that. That's the truth. I prayed for them a lot. They should be really rich by now because of how much I prayed for them. But I think it's just so fun because look at that bee. See it? I hope I have the camera on it. Look, those irises blooming. Those irises have probably been there for 4 years and they're finally coming up to bloom. Can you believe that? Amazing. And I brought out my aloe vera. It does pretty well out here. And there's just these hostas, They should be humongous like they are in some people's yards. But I take them, I just take them with a grain of salt. They're just not they're just not all that happy, I guess. And I got this little thing. See that thing with the 3 leaves? I got that in a forest, in the shade, in the woods behind my mother-in-law's house. There was just 2 of them. She got one and I got one. This is from my friend Carol. She gave me about 4 different kinds of plants. She gave me this little guy. Isn't he cute? And she gave me some of this. Some of this was from her. And she gave me some of that. See that spiky thing? That's where this one got too much ice frost. And this little guy, I love this little guy. So I'm hoping. And she gave me something else, and I finally planted the seeds over there. We'll see. It's a flower. We'll see what happens. Okay. I think I'm giving you my lowdown. Oh, there's some neighbors walking by. No dog. Hi, neighbor. So I have neighbors in the back that they've nicknamed me Yoo-Hoo because I'd say, Yoo-Hoo, hi neighbor, because our yards are far apart and it used to just be them living in their home. Now their kids have moved in to help take care of them. But back in the day, a few years ago, it was just such a thrill to get to talk back and forth, and she would share elephant ears with me, and I ended up having lots of babies. They did really great. I was so proud of them. And then mine, I accidentally left out to freeze, so I've been heartbroken over that. And I don't have the guts to ask for any more because I did it like 2 different times where it's like, oh, I gave them all away and one froze, or I gave them all away again. And so I don't know, it's horrible. Anyway, some things just don't live through the winter, and my home is way too small to pull in all these plants for half the year. It's just too small, and we have so many big storms. If you have a lot of plants outside, you have to have a place to set them. And the reason why I don't set in my back pergola very often is because the wind just whips through there. And so I'm trying to get some curtains hung up there, the heavy curtains that you can kind of spike, so that it can be a little more enjoyable back there when the weather's not ripping through, but it's just too much to really enjoy. This side of the house gets some breeze, but trust me, it's a lot worse than back. So good visiting with you, because I know some of you are gonna have comments, share some of your little stories, and I always look forward to that. So please leave a comment, even if you don't know what to say. Just, hey, I'm here, just saying hi. It always makes me feel better. That's why I do these videos. It's just so we can interact and support each other. Life is a very lonely place when we don't have emotional support, if we don't have friends. And this is one of my ways of having friends. And Vanessa, thank you for getting me off my butt. If you haven't checked out Vanessa's Facebook, YouTube channel, when you see her comment, tap on her icon. Just tap on her little head right there, and her channel will come up. Subscribe to her. She's inspiring, especially if you're a single mom trying to make life work and you're a Christian And sometimes you just need that extra boost of inspiration and camaraderie. And also, and my kind of inspiration as well comes from people like Rose. I like to put little surprises in my garden, in my little garden. So I have them in there. I put them in the little blank spots. Isn't that cute? Rose. If you see Rose comment, click on her icon. She's over 70 and she's just lovely. She does a lot of makeup and hair advice. She's a makeup artist. I'm telling you, that woman knows her stuff. And sometimes she'll share things about her life that are comforting. If you like poetry, she reads some of her father's poetry, which is lovely. Who else has a channel that comes around here? I don't know. If I think of it, I'll let you know. I'm not sure. Hey, BX Gal, if you're out there, do you have a channel for your video games? Just asking, because there are a couple video gamers out there who, I'm not interested in video games. They're so addictive to me. I mean, I'm addicted to Scrabble. Love it. I have to play a game almost every day, even if it's just one. And sometimes I'll play 3 or 4 in a row. But then there's another one with the cars where you have to get them out of the parking lot. Oh my God. I'm just hooked on that. I think it's the lights and the color. So I have to stop at a certain place. But anyway, some of these video gamers have a couple clients have shared a couple different ones where they have these very deep talks. You'd have to be patient with them like you are with me to hear everything they really want to say, and by the end of the video you get what they're trying to say and you think, oh wow, okay, I get it. So I don't know. I think with all the world experiences that some of us out here have, and it's so valuable. We all need each other. So support those people who are trying to try to gain subscribers. Some people really want it. It's a goal for them. It's something that they're really interested in. I don't really have I can't think of any interest I have in growing my channel, except for people who are trying to find people to connect with. People will find me that need me or that just are lonely, because we need each other. This world is getting so weird. I think it's going to turn around. I really do. I think I was really frazzled and just trying to kind of protect myself for I don't know how long it lasted, maybe several months. But now I'm like, you know what? I think we have hope. I think we have hope that things are going to turn around. That some of the things that I believe in, and that I can't imagine why anybody else wouldn't believe in them. It's almost like good against evil. You know what I mean? And a lot of religions believe that there is good energy, negative energy, and some energy just seems to what's that word? It just builds momentum. But I feel like goodness and the light had to get shocked into thinking, what the hell? Before it like a snowball going downhill. Sometimes goodness gets caught on the ledge and then it needs a push. And I think goodness is really gonna make a comeback. Safety, goodness. I hope so. We'll see. I don't know. It's in the universe's hands. It's in God's hands. Frankie, what are you doing? So let's just have hope. Yeah, the wind's picking up. Frankie, what are you doing? He's bored with me being on here. All right. I've run out of things to say. I just want to keep bonding, because if you were sitting here having coffee with me, we'd go from having breakfast coffee to an after lunch coffee, because today feels like a day to visit and maybe hang out and watch TV and fold laundry. You can help me fold my laundry. All right. Love y'all, and have a great day, and know I'm giving you a hug, a spiritual hug from your sister. All right. Love you. Mwah. Bye for now.